They say your gut knows before your mind does. That evening, mine wouldn't shut up. I stood on the terrace beside Chris, my boyfriend, arms resting on the rusted railing, our eyes drifting toward the garden below. The sky was bruised violet, unusually quiet, like the world had paused but not for peace. I felt it even then, the shift. And then I saw her perched on a distant rooftop wall, a girl. She couldn't have been older than 13, legs dangling, completely still, staring out into nothing. "Hey," I called. "Get down from there. You'll fall." Chris squinted, frowning. Weird kid, probably just messing around. But something about her didn't sit right with me. She didn't even blink, didn't flinch, just sat like a statue, made of air and tension. A chill ran down my spine, and I backed away. When I stepped into the living room, I froze. Dad was there. And his old lab partner, the one who never smiled. Between them, sitting quietly on my bed, was a bald newborn baby. Tiny, pale, awake. Mom smiled at me like everything was normal. "Your dad adopted her. She's your new sister now." Adopted? My dad? He couldn't even keep a plant alive. Still, a strange part of me lit up. I'd always wanted a little sister. "Can you warm her bottle?" Mum asked. I nodded, but as I approached the baby, her eyes locked with mine. They were too deep, too awake, like she'd seen everything I hadn't yet. Later that evening, I returned from my room to find something impossible. Hair. The baby had grown thick, black hair in minutes, and she was taller. Her tiny hands weren't so tiny anymore. By the time I reached her, she looked about 8 years old. "What the hell?" I muttered. I turned to Mom, but before I could even speak, the girl looked me dead in the eye and said, "It's a medical condition." Then it happened. A word appeared before my eyes. Not on paper, not on a screen, floating in my vision. Gigantism, like someone hijacked my mind. I stumbled backward. That night, I locked myself in my room and searched everything about gigantism. Yes, it was real, but nothing like this. No one grows like that in seconds. This wasn't a condition. It was an invasion. The next day, she copied my dad's voice. His words, his laugh. "She's just like me," he said proudly. No, she was becoming him. That night, she climbed into a strange old wooden box with carved handles. A relic from somewhere, maybe the lab. She shut the doors, and the chanting began, low, distorted, like someone gargling blood. "Open it," Dad said. I didn't. I just turned the box toward the room where Dad and the lab uncle had been sitting and flung the door open. Then I ran up the stairs, fast. Behind me, red light, searing, screams that didn't sound human. I slammed the door. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just knew my family was gone. Time passed weirdly after that. I hid until 4 women came looking for me. Familiar faces, neighbors, cousins. They called me by name. "Your mum is looking for you," one said. "She's dead," I screamed. They froze. "You think she'll spare you if you bring me back? You think you'll live? She'll kill me, and then all of you." I grabbed Noah's hand, my cousin, and we ran down the street into the night. I bled, but we didn't stop. Noah started thinking about her. I yelled at him, told him not to. "She can find us if you think about her." We reached his house. I collapsed, too wounded. We had to go to the hospital. I was sitting quietly in the ER when someone walked in. My dad, or someone wearing his face. "Come with me," he said. "I found you." I stood up. My instincts screamed, "You're not him." He smiled, but it wasn't my dad's smile. I ran down stairwells, through corridors, into a cold hallway filled with bodies. And then a man with a gun, another tied to a chair. For the first time In days, I felt safe. "Please," I said, "help me." He didn't ask why. He took me into a locked room where 3 other women sat in silence. I joined them, numb, silent, shaking. I must have fallen asleep. When I woke, it was too quiet. I stepped outside. Dead bodies. I returned to the room and saw myself, my body, on the floor, pale, bleeding, hovering above it. Her, the girl, fully grown now, nothing left but a head, long black hair, claws buried in my skull. She was feeding, but the story didn't end there. I opened my eyes again. Back in my house, my mother stood up. "Why are my clothes wet? Turn on the light, Ollie." My dad entered. "These headphones don't work. Can you check them?" Everything was normal, but nothing was. I knew we were all dead, and they didn't. Just as I was about to accept the silence, I heard a door creak open behind me. Footsteps. I turned. It was Chris, the one from the terrace, the one I hadn't seen since that rooftop moment. His eyes were hollow now. His voice was deeper. Wrong. He stepped forward slowly and whispered, "Owlie, you weren't the only one she marked." He opened his mouth wider than humanly possible. Inside wasn't a tongue. It was a whispering red light and a second face. Hers. She had worn him all along. The entity didn't just want me. She wanted to become everyone I loved. And now, she had... If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. See you in the next video.